Namaskaram. This is a nagging question for lot of urban decision maker. When there are enough challenges while executing advanced GIS solution, why one should consider ultra advanced and little expensive 360-degree mapping technology? The present available internet survey information says that annual property tax revenue is approximately less than 27%. It means the leakage is around 63%. Only less than 5% Indian smart city decision makers have recognized urban GIS mapping as their core focus. There are lot of and many challenges faced during execution of GIS project. It may be about technically trained manpower, legacy data, transparency, project review, and many others. But the master challenge is getting mapping right about primary data. In this presentation, we are going to compare merits of both GIS and 360-degree technology. We can see building rooftop from the satellite image taken for base map creation. This is how we digitize the building in a polygon for GIS representation. Please note that the shape-wise, both the building looks identical. In the section B, we can see tree canopy alongside of the road. From similar type of input, we create feature digitization for GIS. Now, this is how we see when we utilize 360-degree data to capture primary mapping details. Here you can see nature of the building, construction type, height of the building, floor count, ground floor utilization, and you may read the banners and the headers which are used as commercial business indicators. In the section B, under the tree canopy, you can see there was an infrastructure which was totally hidden. It has 100% missing probability if one digitized data in GIS style. Let us review a real life example. This is a portion of actual satellite image used for digitization. This is how we digitize image to represent in CAD polygons. In this image, you can see most of the buildings are represented in square or rectangular shapes, which looks to be identical to each other. If you consider this polygon, then you may keep on imagining how the actual building may look like. Consider any moderate size developing city. There would be approximately 100,000 properties. If administration is supposed to check only 10% of the complete data, still 10,000 property checking would be taxing, time consuming, and serious job. To validate the delivery, we check if information is attached to each and every polygon. Still, it is subjected to imagination. Hence, in GIS, we attach property image to each polygon. All this data looks to be fine in GIS, but please note that a single image got attached with two different polygons by manual mistake. These kind of mistakes would be obvious when data is huge. Also, kindly note that height of these two buildings cannot be commented because it is difficult to always accommodate complete building in a single shot picture. Let us revisit a satellite image data. This is the way we digitize tall building. In the absence of the satellite image, it becomes difficult to imagine the nature of the building. We imagine building may be like this or like this. When we use 360-degree data, that enables us to view a single property from different angle and different locations. It also allows us to see the nearby vicinity and the development. This data clearly shows information about nature of the building, type of the building, construction type, usage of the building with approximate floor count. Visual information can be interpreted by even semi-literate person. He may not require to learn the basics of mapping to interpret the 360-degree data. This is a real-life example to conclude about properties under the tree cover, which is situation in most of the developing cities. This is a place where the tree canopy is visible along the roadside and in between the two buildings. This is how the road digitization looks like. This is how the map looks after digitization. Kindly note that digitizer has captured a small property under the canopy because of the limitation of the primary data. If we use 360-degree data, this is the place where we stand, and 360 data clearly shows two large buildings under the tree canopy. We can see the nature of the building, extension to the building, construction type and number of floors. Vicinity of the property is also clearly visible for cross-referencing and proofing. In 360-degree data, the complete side view along the navigable street view is visible, which enable us to read the banners and posters. Recording these banners, we can find out which are the businesses established other than ground floor, which are not visible from the road. This is an example where pedigree shop, which is located on the first floor, which is completely invisible from the road. This input can be used to revenue appreciation due to residential to commercial conversion. This is a satellite image. This is how we digitize the building property. If we view 360-degree data, we can clearly see old building is being extended height-wise with the recent construction. This is another satellite image in which the property is being digitized as usual reference. This property is visible from different points with different visibility angles. The legacy data says G plus 2 floors. GIS data says G plus 2.5 floors, and 360-degree data shows G plus 2.5 plus basement property. Thus, it is transparent, trustworthy, uncompromisable, and more informative data which can be used to define revenue enhancement. With the help of satellite image, we can only digitize property boundary. However, if we utilize drone mapping data, it allows us to digitize more accurate building outline, and it also facilitates to digitize the boundary of the property, which is a very vital requirement in property tax assessment function. Thus, the concrete advantages of 360-degree technology over GIS is to enhance the accuracy of the primary data, which gives clarity on type of building like a bungalow, building, chawl or superstructure. Construction type like a RCC, brick, kacha, pakka, finished, etc. Type of use like residential, commercial, industrial, religious, educational. Approximate visual age of the building like a historical, very old, moderate, new, recent, etc. Floor count. This is vitally important data for revenue enhancement. Extensions, enlargement, encroachment. Ready reference for near vicinity of the property for visual verification. This is dependable online visual data which can be read by many semi-literate persons. Visual deviations can be found and confirmed even before conducting house-to-house survey. This ready internet reference data can be referred by anybody from anywhere. Hidden property details are readily visible without site visits. This multipurpose data can be utilized by multiple government disciplines as a reference data. This visual data can be used for cross-validation of surveyed data. This is very simple, transparent, dependable, and readily available data can be distributed through cloud-based solution. Can we increase revenue by just applying 360-degree technology for data collection? It may be highly unlikely. We have to improve our map creation technique. This is a sample of digitized base map, and we are going to discuss about these two buildings. This is a standard satellite image used for creation of base map. The buildings are visible with isolation in between. This is the way data gets converted into digital. These two buildings are clearly digitized in the form of polygons. This digitized information represents the open space in between the two buildings. We are going to stand on the footpath adjacent to the L building. If we refer 360-degree data, the ground reality gets captured and we can see all the buildings have extended shops till footpath. There is no open space in between the two buildings. In fact, the area is completely covered with the help of shop line having extension of G+1. Remember, L-type building depicted open space in front of it? In reality, all the ground is extended with no open space in front of L-type building. It means when surveyors go to capture data, they may not have the base polygon to attach information regarding the shop line and G+1 extension. Thus, GMap is requirement of time. In urban city, this is a prime reason we have to capture ground floor details on separate layers, which can be called as GMap. The standard conventional base map should be used as other than ground floor map, which can be called as OTG map. The GMap allows us to capture commercial deviations such as deviations within the compound, on the footpath, on the road, sidewise extension, extended top floor, and new extended construction. It also allows residential deviations to be captured as permanent, semi-permanent, large area captivated, restricted practices, etc. GMap may help us to plug the revenue leakages due to all extension and expansions in fastly developing urban cities. Are we using the right survey method, especially when we are supposed to survey extended properties of well-connected, bullish, abusive, aggressive defaulters? Here is a discussion on open loop and closed loop survey methods. In open loop method, the surveyor can see the property in two dimensions. Most of the survey is conducted with the help of mobile-based digital survey technique. Surveyor may capture a photograph of the building, capture the property information as requested parameters, and send it to the server. QA and QC department receives data, runs the corrections through the routine on spelling and some of the figures, and data are being certified as a pass from production. Kindly note that barring the age-old legacy data, the QA/QC team does not have secondary source to check up the primary data received from the field surveyor. The team is 100% dependent on the field surveyor information. The QA department may not be in a position to counter the wrong data generated by the surveyor due to lack of reference data. This lacuna is being covered in the closed loop survey method. Independently, we capture 360-degree data which act as alternate source of primary data for QA and QC team. They may create the revenue potential of each property from 360-degree data. This gets compared on the fly once the survey data comes in the system. The deviation of the comparisons are immediately flashed and resurvey reminders can be generated for the field survey staff on the very next day of the survey. Here, closed looping check includes not only spelling and figures but also the surveyor. The resurvey instructions are shared with the reason for resurvey. This helps in many ways, like
There is a constant check on the surveyor and they are forced to capture the quality data. The payment for the forged properties and fictitious data can be prohibited. Thus, accurate, realistic, reliable, and visual proof primary data gets generated, which can be referred on the cloud-based system with the proper access rights. Kindly note that maximum validation work is being done by the staff operating from the office environment. Hence, the efficiency is very high compared with the staff working on the field. Advantage of the closed loop survey: maximum office resources and less on ground staff. Authentic primary data gets captured. Data can be corrected in office. Missing data can be pointed for field staff. Missing data can be recovered by the office staff with the reference of 360-degree data. Ease of use and performance. Transparent system. Efficient technology. Less urban manpower required. Less burden on administration for project execution. Complete check on vendor. He has to perform good. 360-degree data can be used as a proof of delivery and payment release. Realistic project projections are possible. If you do fantastic project execution job, do you think your data would get accepted by urban administration? Let us check out what are the administrative challenges. Although these projects are guided at municipal commissioner and top level, the responsibility of the data acceptance lies with the property assessor and collector or assistant municipal commissioner level officer. He has certain native core responsibilities. Geospatial data acceptance comes as an additional responsibility. In the most of the cases, the techno-savvy IT in charge is given additional responsibility of geospatial project. Hence, most of the time, his performance is independent of geospatial project status, but he is the final authority to accept or reject the data. The project manager is responsible for a complete mission critical data for municipal council. He is supposed to deploy 10% random sampling method for data acceptance. Usually, he is not provided with a sufficient technical manpower and infrastructure required for data validation. So instead of going for blind acceptance, he decides to execute delaying strategy. He has lot of excuses to delay the data validation process. This in turn delays the payment for the vendor. The vendor project execution budget goes for the toss due to payment delay. The vendor withdraws his key resources and deploys them on another good paymaster project. The current project quality and knowledge gets diluted. There is no urban administrative audit of project execution.
Please get in touch with us
Result:
in case you need any
execution
further
project
information
vendor
about the
suffers
subject.
heavy losses.
Thank you for your
For
invested
administration, there is no
Namaskar.
result, no ROI. Half processed data gets delivered to the corporation, which is again of no use. Project budget goes partially utilized. In other option, the project manager ties up with the vendor and asks him to prepare 10% sampling of the data. After feeling the administrative dependency, vendor understands that complete project data will not get checked and takes his liberty to wind up the project delivery by managing the data. He delivers accurate sample of 10% data. Checking validation documents are successfully prepared. The complete data gets accepted on that validation. The vendor may get maximum payment. However, managed data does not yield any ROI or expected project result. The blame is passed on IT projects, technology, geospatial nature of project, etc. Using 360-degree data technology, the complete delivered data is virtually transferred to the administration on a cloud-based solution. Data can be verified by anybody from anywhere having valid proper access rights. No special infrastructure is required as data is accessible from regular mobile device. Semi-skilled resources can also validate and check the visual data. Administration can deploy the third party for data validation, and 100% data can be validated on the fly without having any dependency on the vendor. The project manager can easily accept data after performing visual random sampling on visual data by himself. Project conclusion: project output results can be easily predicted. Deviation potential can be estimated before performing house-to-house detailed survey. Thus, visual data is easily understandable, 100% transparent, easy to use, assures primary quality data, and enhances the project output.
This brings us to very important question of why tax deviation is so low, why the revenue recovery is so low, and why the revenue performance is so dry. The primary reason is weak primary data. There are three methods of getting primary data corrected with the ground reality. First is through the urban property assessor officer, the employees of municipal corporation and council. Second is from outsourcing survey vendor. And third is from the complaint received from citizens about defaulters. Let us understand the challenges of urban property assessor. He is supposed to deal with 6 type of citizens. First one is honest and sincere citizens who respect the law and order, pay the taxes regularly, and extend 100% cooperation to the government. Second is the businessman category who does alteration in the property for their commercial benefits. They are ready to pay the taxes, however, tries the option of settlement and jugaad. Third is muscle strong people who talks only with hands and legs rather than mouth. Influential people who have very high power connectivity, and with one phone call they can change the personal dynamics of assessor officer. Properties of politicians, and the last one is minority community where even our police officers cannot enter their area. More than 50% properties are covered by the last 4 categories, and we also have exclude the slum area. If assessment officer tries to assess their properties, then he may get abused, assaulted, hospitalized, transferred, have to face stone pelting, faulty and fake allegations may get filed against him. He may have to worry about his family security. Kindly note that this assessment happens under 3 umbrella conditions. First is the absence of primary data validation tool. It means there is no alternate way to validate the data registered from officer. Administrative project spearhead officers are continuously transferred, and replacing one may not have the same idea, or he may have a different thought. There is poor legal support and protection from the law and order for the assessment officers. Under this scenario, assessor has a choice to work sincerely and honestly, generate maximum revenue for government, and go against all the defaulters by implying all the applicable rules and regulations. What is the result for officer? Stagnant salary, no incentives, limited financial gain. He creates lot of hidden enemies. He may get transferred to unwanted place. No real appreciation within the system, and have to worry about his family security. In the second option, officer goes with the wave and does some adjustments with the defaulters. This creates the record manipulation and poor revenue for government. However, the results are astonishing for assessor. He becomes a key person in local dynamics. His social status increases. His respect in the workplace goes up. His contact network increases, and there are fewer chances of he getting transferred. Second source is getting primary data corrected through outsourced survey vendor. The survey contractor pays on-field survey resource around 15 to 35 rupees per property depending upon the list of survey parameters. To have a good income, the field surveyor need to focus to cover maximum number of properties per day. So they have two options: work sincerely, visit each and every house, try to get a maximum information about citizen, get the quality data as per the defined survey form, revisit the door lock properties and conduct proper resurvey. The result is limited properties are covered in a day. However, quality primary data gets created, generates very limited income after doing a hard working and taxing field job. They have to face criticism, anger of the defaulter and citizens from the last four categories. The semi-skilled surveyors are totally unprotected and vulnerable. If surveyor decides to go with the wave and perform the record adjustment with the defaulter, then maximum surveys can be conducted per day. He gets illegal income. Quality of the survey is pathetic. The records are manipulated. Surveys are conducted without actual field visit and forged primary data gets created. The field surveyor knows that validation of survey data by the resurvey through the other resource is too costly for his vendor. Results for field surveyor: he makes decent income, quick money in minimum efforts and easy life. His social status goes up. He comes in contact with influential people. It looks to be good fortune for him. He is discounted from the data responsibility as outsourcing vendor is responsible for the quality of the primary data. Here also the umbrella condition remains the same. The last option of getting primary data corrected is through the complaints and the proof received from the citizens about defaulter. This is one of the safest method as all the proofs are received by the assessor in the office. He gets protected from the aggressive defaulter by proving that he is not the originator. Hence, there is no threat, no tension. He can exercise the rule and regulation and collect the leakage revenue from defaulter. From this third option, very little revenue gets registered. Maximum deviations goes unnoticed. The performance of the municipal council declines. Dependability on the central funding increases. However, the situation in the city is very stable. There is no public outcry, no civil war-like situation. 360-degree data plugs the black hole of validating tool of the primary data. 360-degree data uploads visible property details on the cloud-based web server, which can be viewed by any authorized officer sitting in an office without conducting any site visit. It is equivalent of getting complete city in the office for validation of primary data. The property validation, referencing, pointing out and marking becomes very easy and shareable. The best advantage is it gives third-party support to secure the front-facing assessor officer from the defaulters. They can always point out on the visible defaulted property data to recover the leakage revenue and convince the defaulter that visual data is government initiative with no local control. The maximum work of analysis and comparison is performed from the remote office of third-party vendor. This remotely located office staff is not under influence of local defaulter. Hence, the data infiltration and adjustment possibility is almost nil. Visible deviations are low-hanging fruits before conducting any house-to-house survey. It helps in conducting project monitoring, comparison of temporal data. Auto data updating process can be defined with the semi-literate and semi-skilled officers. Urban officers can literally showcase the complete project to the central government to pull additional funding requirement. The 360-degree solution brings transparency in the system and assures the revenue enhancement by plugging the revenue leakage. This slide shows how this 360-degree data can be effectively utilized by government organizations to perform their core task. For example,
disaster management or the healthcare system has to digitize the complete data which is similar to the municipal corporation. So instead of n number of government entities doing the mapping for their own, there has to be a single intelligent and a perfect data that can be utilized by government activities, and it will be definitely beneficial for all of us because this intelligent data can not only be easily updated but it can be easily shared over internet. With this I come to end of the presentation. Any suggestions, you are most welcome. Thank you so much.